What is up, guys? T Croc here. Welcome to the vlog. I'm gonna start a new series, basically my journey of doing the mivec swap. It's not gonna be a full in-depth squat. Hold on, let me wait for this plane to fly by. Welcome to Virginia Beach, where just jets fly all the time. So it's not going to be a full in-depth mivec swap because, for one, my parts list is going to be a lot less than someone who's going mivec from scratch. So I basically am going to be using old parts from my old motor, from the non-mivec, which is various parts from 3.5 Diamante, 6G74, whatever you want to call it. So it's various brackets from that. There's some various parts from my 3.0 6G72 motor, but let me show you what I have going on. So I don't have the mivec motor right now. I'm actually going to do a few mods before I actually buy the motor. These are just spare parts that I had lying around, so it's going to make the swap a lot easier for me and make a lot go faster. So this is the mivec plenum. One of the mods that I have to do is, you see this nipple right here? It's going to be in the way of the fuel rail, so I have to cut this off, weld that shut, and then probably tap a fitting right here for the PCV valve. Here's the lower bracket, and I'm gonna show you why you're gonna need to mod. You're gonna mod your fuel rails for this. So here's one fuel rail. Actually, I mod it right here. All right, you see how it basically is not going to fit? These brackets will need to be cut off and then re-welded in position. That way it will sit right with the fuel rail. Now, people have taken lower intake manifolds from the 3.5 or the 6G74 and used those, but I've heard that like the port size is not the same, meaning it won't match up on the motor right there. And it makes sense. So if you did go that route, you would probably have to port it, and there's just a lot of mods you have to do. So why not just cut the brackets and re-weld them? With that being said, this fuel rail loop, you can get this from 3SX. They're like the VR4 parts people, and it fits. And they actually send you these brackets as well. What else? This is the key to make the mivec work. You wire this up to your distributor, and mivec works. Actually, this is the most important key. This is from Blackheart Motorsports, or BHM. This is the mivec plate. This will basically bolt on to the back of the head, and then you put your stock distributor on, and you basically run it like a 6G74 swap or a 6G75 non-mivec swap. You have to use the 6G74 water neck, and it clears perfectly fine with that. So thank you to Blackheart Motorsports for making these plates. So the whole purpose of this plate is to basically run our distributor, because the 4G Eclipse, or 3.8 mivec if you want to say, they run a different ignition setup, so they don't have a distributor. So this is why we use this to adapt our distributor, and we can run our stock ECU. Tuning is probably the same. The only thing that's different is I'm wiring this to activate the mivec, because once again, I don't have an ECU that's going to activate it. We're running a stock ECU, but we're going to be tuning it and using this as well. Multiple people have been running this setup, and it's been going great. So for me, I'm going to get a few more like parts, like maintenance parts, because when I get my motor down, I'm going to tear it down, and well, not tear it down completely, but just do the typical maintenance like water pump, belts, plugs. I'll probably have to strip the AC because I don't run AC. There's a couple other things that I'll probably take off the motor that I don't need. But yeah, that's about it. So that's it, guys. This will be a slow series. I'm not trying to rush and get this mivec swap done like ASAP, because in my opinion, when you rush swaps like this, you're gonna make errors, and I don't want to do that. So I'm probably gonna be doing weekly updates, maybe. I kind of got a plan. Like this week is to mod the fuel rails and the intake manifold, and if I can get that done next week, I'll pull the motor, Then the week after that, I'll buy the motor or get the motor shipped to the shop. It really depends. I called around. There are a few around here, and I want to make this clear because a lot of people were saying, is the mivec motor expensive? Now, if you go look at the 3.0s or the 3.5s or even the non-mivec 3.8s, they are the same price as the mivec. So why not just get the bigger motor? Unless you don't want to do all the mods that you have to do for it. But it just makes sense. Like, I was really shocked. I thought the 3.0 motors would be a lot cheaper, as the years pass, but even high mileage ones were almost the same amount of money for buying a mivec. And it used to be like Mivecs were $2,000. Like, the cheapest I saw one was like $200, and the guy said that he wasn't sure if it ran or not. I may pick that one up as well, because that might just be a parts one. I do have mivec heads and everything else, so it's good to have spare parts on board. So that's it. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week.